You smell those? You like that? Yo, what's up? It's me, Uncle Rel, and today we are making a Sunday supper for the family. For our family meal, we're going to make my world famous Meatballs meatballs on top of creamy polenta with a spicy gremolata. Ooh. So you may be wondering why I have on a white shirt today and I'm making meatballs. Well, I like to challenge myself whenever I make meatballs. Today's one of those days. The way we start this off is by mixing up all of our ingredients, but there are a few that I have to get from my wonderful and beautiful Earl. What's up, boo? I miss you. For this, I'm going to take a good amount. I take my parsley and I'll just bunch it up, and then we chop this pretty small. The key to chopping parsley is to make sure that you chop it as fine as possible, because then you get all of the flavor out of it. If you get big chunks of parsley, it's not fun to eat because it'll get stuck in your teeth. You won't get the flavor. I don't know about you, but I got some friends who won't tell me if I got food in my teeth. And so anytime that you can make your parsley a little bit more palatable, take advantage of it. I'm gonna take these scallions and we're just gonna chop those as well. It may seem weird to have green and white onion, but trust me, they serve two different purposes. I like scallion, it's a little bit sweeter, but that white onion provides that crunch that we like. And so we'll add about the same amount of each. To this, we're gonna add some ricotta cheese, and we've also got some Dijon mustard. All right, so we got egg, Worcestershire sauce right here. And then I'm gonna add in my garlic. The whole thing about it is just adding a little bit of soul to the meatballs. And growing up, I actually grew up with Sunday suppers. Like my grandma would make Sunday suppers for the family. My mother and all of the women in my family would come together and cook dinner for the family. And when I thought of a business, meatballs were the thing that I could make really well, but it was all about just infusing the meatballs with some soul. Hence, when I did create Meatballs, the logo is modeled after the women in my family, because every time you eat it, I want you to go back to your grandma's table. All right? So what we're doing now is just cutting up our chicken, and we're just gonna dump this into our mix. You may be wondering why I did the mix first, but the key to any good meatball, meatloaf, any dish that requires you to season meat and then mold it into some type of ball or shape, you wanna make sure that you mix all of your seasoning ingredients first, because if not, then you'll overmix the meat, and we don't wanna do that. We're just gonna get a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Remember, chicken likes salt. Chicken is like a flavorless thing. It absorbs any flavor you get it. So you wanna make sure you salt it. And today I rarely add pepper, but we're just gonna put a little pepper, because why not? We got it in front of us, right? So here we go. I don't like to do this with spoons. We actually get our hands dirty with meat. And the beautiful thing about this, like I mentioned before, these are the meatballs that started my career. 5 years ago, I was laid off from my job. And I literally had to figure out what I could use to pay my rent. And meatballs were it. You wanna caress that meat, right? And you wanna go under. You wanna just fold it into itself. And when you see everything is molded, you put it all to the center, and then you sit that bad boy to the side. Let me wash my hands because this is chicken. Meatball scoop. Some people call it an ice cream scoop, but in my world, this is a meatball scoop. So I'll take one of these, and I'll just form it in my hand so it's a ball. This is something I created in graduate school, but I would make them for my teammates in college as well, kind of like guinea pigs. Actually, when I was in grad school and I first made these meatballs, I called my best friend Bruce up like, yo, come through, we got a winner. And I remember he tried it and he was like, yo, this might be the best thing I ever ate. And I told him at that moment, one day I'm gonna sell this. And look at me now. Selling these bad boys all over Brooklyn. In my house spice mixture, we got a little bit of salt, we got some seasoned salt, we got some cinnamon, some cayenne pepper, smoked paprika. You gotta have the smoke, don't use that regular stuff because it ain't the same thing. Then we got a little bit of cumin, a little bit of brown sugar, and that's about it. I'm gonna take these, we're gonna put them in the oven, and then we're just gonna leave it alone. So while my meatballs are in the oven, we're gonna get started on our Parmesan crisp. All we're gonna do is grate some Parmesan cheese. There we go. And I'm just gonna take these and separate it into 6 little pieces, okay? Look how cute those are. It's so easy. We'll pop these in the oven. And that's good. So our water should be boiling. That's hot enough. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. Always salt your food. Polenta is a fancy word for grits. It's just grits. The way to cook a good grit, you wanna make sure you stir it in, because if you don't, your grits will clump up, all right? And now is the perfect time to add in that cream. And all we wanna do now is turn off our heat. I am going to transfer this here, and I'm just gonna fold the creme fraiche into it. See, this is perfect. So Sunday supper at my house, you're basically a lab rat. And you're just trying out different recipes that I plan to make on TV. Shout out to you. This is a cool job to have. We're gonna leave this on a nice low simmer. Hey, babies. Oh, come here, babies. Oh, they smell so good. You smell those? You like that? Ah, we love them. And that's Meatballs meatballs. We're gonna put these to the side. And we're gonna get started on our gremolata. So, if you don't know what a gremolata is, it's basically a chimichurri without cilantro. And that requires us to go to our herb wall. Ah, I miss you so much. Look how fluffy and bushy they are. We're gonna take a big bunch. All right, there we go. So precious. So the basis of a gremolata, we got our parsley, some scallion, and I'm gonna rough chop these. Since we're putting it in a food processor, you don't really have to worry about doing too much to it. So a rough chop is fine. Next, slice the serrano pepper in half, all right? Now this part is up to you. If you want it to be a little less spicy, take some of the seeds out. But if you like spice, I would say just leave the seeds in and use half of it. And then we just pulse it. All right? So now, let's do this. We got a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I'm just gonna add my garlic in, because you can't forget the garlic. And I like to add it last since it's already minced up. We're gonna start to add in our olive oil slowly. And here. There we go. Let me taste it really quick for salt and pepper. That's really good and spicy. Ooh, that's hot. Look how creamy that thing is. It's like a sauce in its own. Like a tangy, lemony, olive oily, spicy ass sauce. Polenta is nice and creamy. I'm just gonna dump all of that on there. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. All right. Now we'll get started on the meatballs. So a funny Sunday supper story. One of my best friends in high school, I come home for college, and he had recently become a Muslim. And my parents didn't know, so we brought home like meat lovers pizza. We had like sausage, pepperoni, like every single piece of pork on this thing. We serve it, he eats all of the pizza, and my parents are like, hey, so-and-so, I thought you weren't allowed to have pork. And homeboy looks at everybody, he's like, oh boy gotta eat. But that's the type of stuff that happens at Sunday supper. Watch your boy Uncle Rel just drizzle this all over the meatballs. And it's up to you. However much you want, you can put however much you want on it. Trust me. This is a little spicy, so just beware if you have guests who don't want that much on it. You might even be able to just put it to the side and let them do it themselves. But that looks good right there. Now we're gonna take one of these crisps, and we're just gonna stick that right in the side. Hit it with a little bit of olive oil. Not too crazy. Boom. Why not? Let's do some more. Why not? We got hella crisps. Here you go. You get one too. You get a crisp. You get a crisp. Look how sexy that is. This is our Sunday supper. We have a bed of creamy polenta. We have some Meatballs, chicken meatballs, and a spicy gremolata with a Parmesan chip on the side. And now we're about to try this. That's good. I know, sometimes you remember why you do it when you eat stuff. Makes it taste that much better.